You may be panicking right now because you heard that there's an immigration pause for 75 countries. So the big question is this: if you're applying for a green card inside the US, are you affected? In other words, is adjustment of status affected? I'm going to break this down in a simple way that actually makes sense. So let's get into it. I'm Shariq, the South Asian attorney. I'm licensed to practice law in the US, and I help people worldwide with American immigration law. All right, so first, let's clear up one important term, because this is where a lot of confusion starts. When people talk about adjustment of status, all that really means is this: you're already inside the US, and instead of leaving the country to get a green card, you're going to be applying for a green card from here. Maybe you came on a student visa, maybe a work visa. You file paperwork with the USCIS, mainly Form I-485. And if everything goes well, you get your green card without ever leaving the US. So far, so good, right? All right, so now let's talk about the immigration pause, because that's really what everyone's worried about. You've probably seen the headlines. The US government announced a pause on immigrant visa for people from 75 different countries. What does that actually mean? It means that people who are outside the US and who are waiting for a green card at a US embassy may not get the visa issued until the pause is lifted. In other words, this pause mainly affects people who are outside the US and who are trying to come in. So here's the big question: does this pause stop green card cases that are already filed in the US? The answer is no. If you're already in the US, the State Department's immigration visa pause does not apply to you. And here's why. The State Department handles visas at embassies and consulates overseas. USCIS handles green card applications inside the US. Two different systems, two different processes. So think of it like this: if you're waiting at a US embassy abroad, that's where the pause affects you. But if you're inside the US and applying through USCIS, your case can still move forward. Now, this part is important. There is a little twist. USCIS has issued guidance that affects some applicants from certain countries. Countries on travel bans or pause lists. So this does not mean that your case is going to be denied. It does not mean that everything stops, but it can mean extra review. So what does that look like in real life? It could mean that your case takes longer than expected. Your interview might be scheduled later. USCIS might ask for more documents, or your file might just sit a little longer while it's reviewed more carefully. So what should you do now? If you've already filed your green card application inside the US, don't panic. Make sure that your paperwork is complete, accurate, and well organized. If USCIS asks for something, respond quickly. If you're from a country affected by the pause, expect possible delays. But don't assume that your case is dead. It isn't. And no matter what situation you're in, always follow USCIS instructions carefully. This is going to help you a lot. So the bottom line is this: the immigration pause mainly affects green card processing outside the US. If you're applying from inside the US, your case is very much alive. I'm immigration attorney Shariq Khan. I'll see you next time.